Hello, welcome to a review over law of cosines. My name is Sky Graham, and I'm going to be teaching you all about law of cosines. Okay, as you can see, we have our little triangle right here. Our triangle has angle A, angle B, and angle C, but it also has side length A, side length B, side length C. Now, I'm sure you're probably wondering, what do those things mean? And why are they paired up? Well, I'll show you. Okay, now get out your paper, calculator, and all of that. Oh, speaking of your calculator, you will want to turn it into degree mode. If you have never turned it into degree mode, I will show you. Okay, take your calculator, go to mode, scroll down about 3, go over to where it says degree, and click on it. Now your calculator is in degree mode and you won't get an error message. Okay, now I want you guys to draw this triangle. This triangle has an angle measure of 30 degrees. We don't know what the measure of side length A is, and we do not know what the measures of B or C are. But we do know that one of our side length B, is 10 centimeters. We also know that our other side length is 12 centimeters. Now, I'm sure you guys are thinking, oh, well, I can do Pythagorean theorem. No, you can't, because this is not a 90-degree, this is not a right triangle. You can't do that on this one. So I'm going to show you how you can solve for this side length using just these two numbers and this angle measurement. Okay, so the formula for this is a squared equals b squared plus c squared. Now that looks like Pythagorean theorem, but it's not. Watch. Minus 2bc times the cosine of A. Okay, see, it's different from the Pythagorean theorem. So, I know it looks really long and complicated, but it's really simple. You just plug in the numbers. Since we do not know what a squared is, that remains a squared equals 10 squared, since that's the measure of side length B, plus 12 squared, since that's the measure of side length C, minus 2 times 10 times 12 times cosine of 30. Okay, a lot of numbers looks complicated. I'm going to show you that it is not. So, pick up your handy-dandy little calculators and type in 10 squared plus 12 squared. That will get you 244. So right now, a squared equals 244 minus 2 times 10 times 12 times cosine of 30. Okay, now we're going to deal with this half of the problem. So again, go to your calculators, type in -2, since it's minus 2, we're going to treat it as a negative right now. -2 times 10 times 12, and now you have a squared equals 244 minus 240 times cosine of 30. Okay, now you're going to take your minus 240 and times it times cosine of 30. So type that in. You are going to get a squared equals 244 minus 207.8. That's all you have to do. You don't have to write out the entire decimal. So now we have this. Looks a lot simpler, doesn't it? Well, now we have a squared equals, now you go into your calculator, type in 244 minus 207.8. That gives you 36.2. But you're not done yet because this is still squared. Now you take the square root. So A is going to equal the square root of 36.2. The square root of 36.2, if you plug it into your calculator, is 6.01 centimeters. Now, depending on your teacher, you can probably get away with just 6. But for this one, we're doing 6.01 centimeters. Now, that is how you use this formula to solve for a side length. Now, it has a second purpose. It can also solve for an angle measurement. What? It can solve for an angle measurement? I know, totally mind-blowing. So, if you have all this, I want you to direct your eyes to right here. This is where we're going to put our second example. Now we have another triangle. This triangle has angle A, and we don't know how many degrees that is. But we do know that side length A is 11 centimeters. We switched it. First you knew what angle A was, but now you know what side length A is. Now, we also have angle B. We still don't know what that is, but side length B equals, let's make that 9 centimeters. And then you have angle C. You still don't know what that is, but you do know that side length C is 12 centimeters. Thought I was going to put 10? Not even. Looks different, but you can still use the same formula. How? I'm going to show you. So, you keep with that formula. Remember, this formula is very, very important. You need this formula. So, now you just go in and plug in the numbers. You know what a squared is. So you have 11 squared equals 9 squared plus 12 squared minus 2 times 9 times 12 times the cosine of A. Since you do not have an angle measurement, you leave that blank. You're going to be solving for that later. So now, 11 squared gets you 121. So 121 equals 9 squared plus 12 squared, which is 225. So right now, we have that. Minus, now plug into your calculator, negative 2 times 9 times 12. And that gives you 216. Now you have to keep that cosine of A because you're going to need that later. Trust me. So, how are we going to solve this one? Well, you can't solve it like you did the first one because 225 minus 216 does not get you 121. Trust me, not even the biggest idiot can get that. So, we are going to subtract 225 from both sides. Yes, I know it's a negative number, but it makes sense later. So, 121 minus 225 gets you negative 104 equals negative 216 times cosine of A. Okay, following me? Now, we're not going to add or subtract this number. We're actually going to divide by negative 216. What? You're dividing? But that's weird. But trust me, now you have cosine of A equals negative 104 divided by negative 216. Now that is a very long decimal, and you have to write out the entire thing. So the decimal is 148,148,15. You need this entire thing. But you're probably looking at your screen and you're like, wait, Sky, that's cosine of A. I need the measure of angle A. Don't worry, you'll get the measure of angle A very shortly. So, go to second cosine, and then you are going to type in that extremely long decimal. And you will come out with measure of angle A equals 61 degrees. Now, I know there's a decimal, but when dealing with angles, you want them as close to a whole number as possible. So that means rounding up or down. Now, you know that the measure of angle A is 61 degrees. I've shown you how to use this formula for both ways. How to solve for an angle, for a side length, and for an angle measurement. Now, how do you know that you're using this formula? this formula in general, that is law of cosines? Well, if it has 3 side lengths but no angles, or 2 side lengths at an angle, then you know you're using law of cosines. Now, I'm not going to show you how to do this next thing. You're probably going to see this on future questions. If you get an error report, there could be one of 2 things wrong. First option, you didn't listen to me at the beginning of this video and you didn't put your calculator in degree mode. Go do that, and that might fix your problem. Second issue is, if you've checked all your work and make sure it's right, it could mean there's no solution for this problem. So don't freak out. You're not an idiot. You didn't screw up. So this has been Law of Cosines. Hope you took down diligent notes and were paying attention. If not, rewind and catch down what you missed. Good luck on your semester exams, and thank you for watching.